What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the BSBN Podcast here. Welcome to episode 9. Have myself here as well as my co-host, Dan.
Hi, what's going on, guys?
All right. Uh, what's called leading on from last week, we had a couple interesting topics to talk about. Um, there's a big one this week that I think is kind of a very big topic for the league in general, but also just the AFC North.
Yeah, news broke out today that I don't think anybody was expecting.
Yeah. Joe Burrow to possibly return for this Thursday's Thanksgiving game against the division rivals, the Baltimore Ravens. Currently, the Baltimore Ravens, they own the league, not the league, sorry, they own the NFC North, AFC North, my bad. They are 6-5 currently, and the Browns are not the Browns. Cincinnati Bengals are what? They're 3-8 at the moment. Is that
Yep, they're
correct?
3-8. Yep,
So they're
six and
three.
five for the Ravens, 3-8 for the Bengals, 3-8 for the Browns, and 6-5 for the Steelers.
So we're looking at that AFC, right? And you gotta wonder, does this change anything? Do you think Joe Burrow being back, coming in to play this game because he's expected to play this Thursday? Do you think he comes back and ends up changing this team's future? Like, do you think they could sneak in somehow to the playoffs? Does he make them a playoff team this year, or are they just done? Is this team just
I'm
still done regardless?
For me, I think that Joe Burrows, if he's healthy and can play, he should start because you're looking at their schedule and they have Baltimore, Buffalo, Baltimore, Miami, Arizona, ooh, excuse me, and Cleveland. So you're already split with Pittsburgh, and I don't think going 1-1 against Pittsburgh without Joe Burrows in and with Flacco's at quarterback, that's decent enough that if you do uh, tie with the Steelers, you have the advantage if you come back and beat Baltimore with Joe Burrow starting. So yeah, I think with Joe Burrows, you have to give him the chance if he's healthy. Just play him because that's your best chance at competing with Joe Burrows there at quarterback. Because yeah, Flacco's got them along the way, but they're on a 4-game losing streak right now. And if you want to switch up that room to give them some kind of hope to make the playoffs, can they make the playoffs? Absolutely, because we've seen all year Baltimore struggling on defense, and now it seems like these last 6 games they've turned it around, or 5 games coming from the bye week they turned it around. But at the same time, can Baltimore go back to that? And you have 2 games against them in 3 weeks. I say go and start Joe Burrows because that's your better chance at even making the playoffs at this point.
So they got to verse Baltimore twice and the Cleveland Browns once. So that's 3 division games they have to verse right now.
And they
And
already
it
beat the Browns already
Yeah,
at
they beat them already.
game one,
But
week one.
remaining though, we have those 3 division games left, right? They're how many games do we have left here? We have what, 6 games left? One, no, one, two, three,
Six.
six
Six
games.
games left.
Okay. So at best right now, their record can be 9-8 if they came in and won every game for the remainder of the season. In my eyes,
Beating
what?
beating Baltimore is a must at this point for them
Yeah.
to even consider making the playoffs in that division.
Yeah, because they got to come. I think they got to win every game. You can't lose for the remainder of the season, and that's a
No.
hard thing to do. Because you gotta come in and be 9-8. I don't see like you getting into the playoffs with the schedule you guys have now. I don't think you make it if you're 9-8 right now. Like, is it really going to be possible? It's
You're
hard.
cutting it very close.
Really close, but it's possible because you could still hand, if you beat them, you could hand the Ravens 2 losses. You have to verse the Bills. That's probably the toughest matchup besides the Ravens, and that's a 3 game stretch in which you have the Ravens, Bills, Ravens. That's pretty tough. And
Yeah,
then
that's
you
the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then you got who else? You have the Dolphins, that should be a
Miami and
lock.
Arizona.
Arizona, you should beat, and then the Browns, you should beat. So if they could win all 3 of these first 3 games, coming back with Joe Burrow, one of them first being the primetime game at 8:20 p.m. Eastern, versus the Baltimore Ravens, Then they beat the Bills next week. And by the way, he's coming back into 2 away games. He'll be coming back Baltimore, the first one's away, and then Bills away, and then he's got the Ravens at home again afterwards. So it's a tough. Immediately
It's a
coming
tone
back into
setting.
road, like a road victory is what he's got to come back with. So 3-8 they have to go, and then who do the Ravens have left? Do the Ravens have a tough schedule besides them? Because at this rate, we're expecting Pittsburgh to make it at this point, right? Like I think
The
Pittsburgh's kind
rate.
of like a fall off the
I
wagon
mean,
here.
yeah, at this point, Cincinnati could jump Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh hasn't been looking too hot.
Yeah,
Uh, the Ravens have Cincinnati. Well, we know that already.
yeah.
They have Pittsburgh in between Cincinnati. They have New
Ooh,
England. They have Green Bay and Pittsburgh.
that's a tough schedule. And they still have to beat.
Yeah,
They have to beat. So, oh wow, the Ravens are kind of in a tough spot then, because now this is anyone's game. If Joe Burrow can come out and actually light the Ravens up, which their defense also has to play the Cincinnati Bengals. Their defense has to play because we've already
yeah,
seen, even with Joe Flacco's electric offense, even with him putting up 30 some odd points a game, they've still found ways to lose.
yeah.
So
And here's another thing. You want to hear the Steelers' schedule for the next 6 games?
yeah, let me hear it.
It's I think is even harder than Baltimore's. You have Buffalo, Baltimore, Miami, Detroit, Cleveland, and then Baltimore.
Yeah, that's pretty damn. Got like tough schedules ahead, and they all involve each other. That's where it comes down to as well. Is Cincinnati, Cincinnati, the Steelers, and Baltimore. 3 of them are intertwined right now with their gains because
Yeah.
if the Steelers and the Ravens tie 1 apiece, and then the Bengals come in and win 6 straight, like now they're both losing games, and that's really the best case here for the Bengals, them winning 6 straight. They have to win. It's like it's a must right now. They have to win 6 games. I think that's like
Oh,
no matter how you
absolutely.
slice it, they need all 6 wins. They cannot slack a single game. You can't take off for
No.
any of them. Every game pretty much is your Super Bowl from this point until hopefully February for your team. There's no way
Like we were
around it.
saying about like we were saying about this 2 weeks ago for the Ravens when they had their bye. Was it 2 weeks ago?
No,
Uh
they were 1-5 at the time, so what
their
was it?
bye was week 7. So we've been
Yeah,
saying this that they had to turn around and win out. And as it stands, they're on a 5-game win streak.
yeah,
So the Ravens have definitely turned it around, and I don't think anybody was expecting this. We were joking at the time, saying, "Oh, can the Ravens win out and make the playoffs?" We were like, at this rate, with how bad their defense was looking, no. But
yeah.
they turned it around and became a different team. So Cincinnati is definitely going to have a struggle against Baltimore, but this division we might not see a clear winner by week 16. This or
It's
week
kind of
17.
crazy.
This division could be up for grabs.
It's kind of crazy to think that way. And then on top of that, you have we have a couple questionable guys for Baltimore, right? So Jackson did just return to practice today for his toe injury. So but he's been injury ridden now the last few weeks now with his hamstring, now his toe and whatnot. It's we don't know if we're getting a banged up Lamar Jackson. And then,
He's also been injured since the bye week
so I'm
and
saying, like,
before the bye week.
He's been injured for a couple of, since the hamstring incident, the ankle, the toe. He's injured pretty much like a lot. It's a big injury season for him, which is not good. Because this team clearly does not know how to function without him. And that, I mean, of course, it's Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. You're not really expected to like have anyone
The
better than
team is
him.
built around him.
Yeah, and there's really not much question about that because you could even see like Derrick Henry not performing nearly as well as he was last season, or even at the beginning of the
Yeah.
season. You know, you would have thought that first game versus the Bills, he was gonna have a monstrous season regardless, and then he just kind of, as time went on with the fumbles, I don't know if it's a morale thing or whatever, but it just kind of felt like he just started like losing steam. You know, it's kind of like the train's kind of like at its last stop. I could be wrong, but I don't know, Baltimore fans, if you are listening to this,
Yeah.
then let me know how you feel about that. But I think that yeah, the team is built around Lamar Jackson as it should be. I think any good team has
I
a good
mean,
team featured around these guys.
he has 3 fumbled, and it's all from the first week, and he
Yeah,
hasn't fumbled since. So he definitely learned how to protect the ball
no,
better.
no, he fumbled. He fumbled. What is it? He fumbled the what game was it? What game did they lose? They like they or they I think it was the Lions. I think he fumbled against the Lions and the Chiefs. I think he fumbled in both games. So I remember them losing, and it might have been the Lions game because I think he fumbled in that game, and they lost. I think because of that, like they picked it up and then they ended up scoring on that very next
Yeah,
thing.
that's
If
their
I'm not
first three
mistaken.
games.
Oh, I thought you said like all three of them are in one game. That's my bad. That's
No,
my missing.
no.
My
I
bad.
said their first three games, he has 3 fumbles and he hasn't fumbled since.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
that's looking on a that's the bright side to this Derrick Henry thing. But Derrick Henry and Saquon has definitely been struggling this year at running back.
yeah, I mean that's kind of expected though when I'm thinking about it. You know, like when I'm looking at someone like Saquon, you know, just right now that offense is as a whole has been struggling. There's a whole thing about that we can get another time, but I just think that offense is just struggling a lot as is. Like they are just none of them seem like they want to work with one another. They're just all unhappy besides Saquon. Saquon's like, I'm just happy to be here. Thank God. All that stuff. Praise everything. You know. And then everyone else is just like, you know, AJ Brown's like, I'm not getting the ball enough, and you
Yeah,
know, and all this stuff. It's a whole thing. So I just think the whole
teams
offense
that
out of whack.
coming into this year, teams that you didn't think that they were going to struggle, you're seeing massive struggles from. One being Baltimore, one being the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, with the Eagles are 8-3, I won't even say they're struggling. Their offense is definitely struggling, but we've seen that. What was it that year that they were like 11-1 or whatever, and then their offense really wasn't clicking until the back half of the season, and they just went off. And I think that was the year they was it last year? No, it was 2 years. They got eliminated or whatever, but they didn't go to the Super Bowl. I forgot what season that was. A little foggy with it, but yeah, no, we are
3 years
seeing a
ago,
lot. We are
maybe? 3 or 2 years
maybe
ago.
maybe, but yeah, we are seeing some teams struggle, and some teams do good. And you know, it's crazy to think that even now at week 12, a division we thought would have been in the lock during week 1, is still under grabs. Being going into week 12 or going to week 13 actually. You know,
Yeah,
this AFC North is just a very very interesting game. It's a very very interesting division right now with all of them. It's crazy to see. And then you have just other.
Steelers have been struggling recently. They're just,
I didn't
I
expect
mean,
them to
yeah,
do great
they
in the
had
first
that blowout.
place.
Yeah, they had that pretty dominant win over the Bengals, but at the same time, it's like their last 4 games have been very close.
Yeah, I think that the Steelers as a whole, for me, just is not going to be enough. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has it to be like the top quarterback. I think he still is good, and right now I'd still put him in a top 15 position, but I just don't have him, being the guy that's going to get it done for you. I also don't see their wide receivers. I'm sorry, Steelers fans, hate me for it, but DK Metcalf, and I've said this even when he was on the Seahawks, I think he is one of the most overrated wide just because I think he's got the height, the speed. I think he's got the build. The guy is big, but I just think he just does
And
not
fast.
have. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's got the speed, he's got the height, he's got the build. He just, for me, it's just he doesn't have the It's just he doesn't have the wide receiver tendencies to be like someone that would be in that build. Like he's got like that Megatron build, but he's not. He doesn't have the Megatron skill. It's a vast difference between the two people. And it's not that he's like not a good player. I still I say overrated because I think that to me he's not a number one receiver on any team. I
He's not
thought
an elite
JSN.
wide receiver in the league.
Nah, and it's like for me, I thought JSN would have if they would have just given him the chance before DK Metcalf even left. I think that would have been an even more dangerous duo because you would have had JSN to me as your number one, and you would have had DK Metcalf as your number two, and that would have been fire. But the Steelers having him as your number one and really not much backup because you already got rid of George Pickens. You really don't have a number two back there with him, and I just don't think that the offense for me is going to be enough. They put up points. Don't get me wrong. They have actually been better offensively than I give them credit for. But for me,
Oh
when it
yeah,
comes to the
absolutely.
playoffs, when it comes to like, if we're going into the playoffs, I don't see it being nearly as effective as it has been in the regular season. It's just not it for me. I
You're
like,
looking at this team and seeing their weapons as their tight ends. You're not concerned about their wide receivers. You're concerned about their
yeah,
tight end.
yeah. Like I'm not really concerned about the whole receiving core there. It just kind of feels like he has an upgraded version of what he had on the Jets and just is, just doing his thing. He's winning games. They're winning games. I mean, just they're also losing
Primarily
games.
because of the defense too. The
Yeah,
defense is keeping them in these close games.
yeah, and that's just another thing. They would have lost week 1 against the Jets if it wasn't for the defense, because that was crazy. Like even though they put up they allowed 32 points to the Jets. Like there was the fumble off the kick return and
Yes.
whatnot. Just it was a lot of shit that happened. The Jets could have won that game. I think it would have altered the entirety of their season if they got that win.
I
Um,
mean, you're looking at all their games. All their games are within a touchdown or a field goal. So it's
yeah,
like, are the Steelers really a threat when other teams are looking at them? Absolutely not.
nah, yeah, I'm the same way. I just I don't view them as much. But yeah, I do think that Cincinnati, if they could make a run for 6-0, it's very slim, very very goddamn slim. But I do think they could make the playoffs. They just have to win every single game. You have to hope that they split one game apiece at most with Pittsburgh. And honestly, not even at most. You need them to split because you don't want Pittsburgh winning 2 games either. So they need to split
No.
those games with Pittsburgh. They need and
Well, they
then
already did.
no, I'm talking
They
about the
already played
Ravens.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
The Ra-
Oh, yeah.
you're hoping that the Ravens split with the Steelers because you don't want them either one of them to win 2 games apiece. You
Oh,
can't.
no.
You can't afford it because basically, if either of these teams win 3 or more games, it's a wrap. It's basically over. If any of them go 10-5 or 10-6, it's over for them. It's
And
or
at
10 was
best,
it 10
Cincinnati.
and 6.
And
Yeah.
at best, Cincinnati has to split with Baltimore.
No. At best, Cincinnati has to win everything. They have to go 6-0. Like they
Oh,
have no
yeah.
choice. Otherwise, then you're leaving. Is if you split with any team, now your best record becomes 8-9. You can't really that's not going to cut it with this division. You can't split. There's really no room for error right now with them. They have a chance. It's just very thin. But welcome back, Joe Burrow. Hopefully, he has a good season. I think the seasons are always more fun when he's involved and going with that division rivalry with Lamar Jackson. That's always just like I think it's the reason why Thanksgiving game had them here for the prime time originally. Is just we wanted to see that matchup between Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. It's just one of those ones.
And I'm
Um,
looking right now, their chances to make the playoffs, the
like
Bengals,
-1%. It's nice, like less than
less
one
than
percent.
1%.
Yeah, it's like it's not even a chance.
Oh, they have to.
But it's slim. But I think it would be historic, and I
There's a
think it would be
chance, but they
hilarious.
have to do it.
It would be hilarious if they made it. I'm rooting for them just to see if they could happen because that would be so funny, and that would be just a really cool thing to see. Like witness that. Um, Moving on real quick. Speaking of the NFC North, we had this past week 12. We talked about it on last week's podcast. It was the hot topic item. And if you haven't watched this episode 8 of the podcast, go back and watch it now. But we talked about, you know, was uh was Shedeur Sanders getting treated unfairly by the Cleveland Browns? We asked if that question was legit or whatever. Did they shaft him? Did they basically give him no opportunity to succeed? And he came out and he finally got practice reps after that loss against what's called Baltimore. They came in and they got a win against the Raiders. Now, it was the Raiders, but they still got a win, and he is the first quarterback, I believe it was, in Browns for the Browns
To
since
win in their rookie
1999,
debut.
for the rookie debut since 1999 to get a win. That's pretty damn good to me. I don't care who it's
Yeah.
versing. You have to look at that as an upside. You're the Browns. At this point, anything is considered an upside. They could have versed the college teams or a high school national teams, and they could have won that game. And I'm like, that's it. Give them the Super Bowl right there and there because they need something. That was a good look for Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion. How do you feel about this game, Dan? What did you think about Shedeur Sanders' debut versus the Las Vegas Raiders?
I think that he debuted. Yes, he had his struggles. Yes, he threw an interception. And yeah, the offensive side of the ball wasn't looking as heavy as the Raiders' offensive side, being that Sanders had 209 yards, and Gino had 285. But when Shedeur shined, he shined. Like, he threw that ball to one of their wide receivers. I don't remember who it was that got Judkins his touchdown to where they took the lead 14-0. He threw that. He threw the play to the Samson that got Samson and Shedeur both their first rookie touchdowns. So Shedor's looking good. He needs more reps under that offense for them to click. But Shedor's looking like the guy in Cleveland, in my opinion. And I don't think, back to this being a fluke, you can say it's a fluke, but at the same time, this is a National Football League. Every team is a threat, especially when you're a rookie, because you're coming into a whole new atmosphere that's different than college. Even going back to, I know Cam Scatterbo has been injured,
I know you're going to
but I
mention this
remember him
game.
being, yeah, he's been on stream. I think it was with Jinxie, and Jinxie asked him a question saying, "Is NFL harder than college?" And he said, "Yes, the NFL is harder than college." And yeah, you expect it to be because these are grown men attacking you and being in the league for years. They know how to play football, and you're coming in your first year, and you just got to adapt to a whole different game.
It's kind of like what we say with hockey. It's like the ice gets a lot smaller when you're playing in the NHL, and it's kind of like the same thing with the NFL. It's like the field gets a lot smaller when you're playing on the NFL compared to college. There's a lot less 90-point games a fucking game. Sorry for the language. It's a lot heavier. It's a lot harder to play in that atmosphere. And I think that no matter how you look at it, I think Browns fans, you should be happy. I think everyone who's also hating on Shedeur, honestly, I mean, for what reason? Honestly, like I've said this time and time again before the draft, and I still stick with this now. I wish nothing but Shedeur Sanders the best, and I hope he does succeed in his league because the kid has worked at this. I don't care what his dad is. I don't care about what Colorado's record was. That I think I ain't gonna lie. I think the banner hanging up of his jersey is a little much, but I do think that he could be a talented quarterback in this league and actually make the Browns something. Because at this point, if you're the Browns, you're tired of going after quarterbacks every single draft, right? You gotta be. So I think if they solidify that Sanders is their guy, which he is getting the start for this upcoming game in week 13. I forgot who they're versing. But he is getting the upcoming start here against San Fran. So he's going to be versing. Oh, I think it's
Like
who's it?
San
Mac
Fran.
Jones right now, or is it Purdy?
Mac Jones, I think, it still has the start there.
Okay, so then he's gonna be starting over there as well. He's gonna be playing against a very tough team. To me, that either shows that the coach realizes he was wrong, or or whatever the case is, but they're going to come in and they're actually going to take him into going into another tough game here. And this one game, none of these games are going to decide whether he's good or bad. It's not about just the win. At this point, you're not just looking for the win. And I say this with all players that you're looking as prospects. Goes for any sport. You're not just looking as, can they win with this player? Do you think right now, are they going to win this next game? Do I think that the Cleveland Browns are going to beat San Fran with Shedeur Sanders? No, I don't. Personally, I think they're going to lose. They're going to get killed. But you're not looking at that. You're looking at, how does Shedeur play? Do you see him like locking in on the field? Is he only throwing to his first read? Is he like able to get confidence in the pocket? Do you notice him scrambling when he needs to scramble? Is he tucking the ball when he's got to tuck the ball? Do you realize he's throwing wherever he's got to throw to? Is he spreading the ball around? Is he getting? There's a lot of other things you have to look at for this kid right now, other than just, did he win against San Fran? Nope, he sucks. It's like, that's just not how it works. That's just not that's casual sports fans trolling other casual sports fans. That has nothing to do with whether this player is going to be good or not. See, like when I saw Dart play, called it from preseason. I said, this kid looks great. I love the way he looks. He's actually going to do really in the NFL. I like the way, and he's only gotten better as time went on when he did play in the preseason, and then also got way better in the regular season. His confidence grew, his swagger grew, and no, I'm not going to go into the whole confidence versus cocky thing versus him and Shedeur Sanders. Again, it had nothing to do with Shedeur Sanders as to why I didn't want him on the team. I simply just thought that Jackson Dart, looking at the tapes from him, And just like, because I'm not a big college guy, so after looking at what I've seen from both quarterbacks, I made my decision saying that I wanted Dart. And if we would have got Shedeur, I would have cheered Shedeur on as well. There's no reason not to. Like if he's my quarterback, I'm going to look to him and I'm going to hope he does good. I would never prey on someone's downfall for that. It doesn't make sense that we're just like shooting for this kid to get like shot down immediately just because you don't like the comment he made or because his dad is whoever and does whatever. Like it's ridiculous. I think that this kid can succeed whether he's doing it in lavish lifestyles or whether he's doing it as any other just humble quarterback. However, his personality is, let him shine on the field. You're not supposed to care about what kind of albums he listens to at home. You're supposed to care about what he does on the field. That's the big ticket there. As a Giants fan, God, I hated OBJ's personality, but I loved him on the field when he was a part of our team, right? Like it had nothing to do with that. I just hated. I hate sometimes like when I hated OBJ just because of his like diva personality. Sometimes it's him slamming the helmets and kicking shit and just I never liked that. Just you're mad, show it on
I
the
like
field.
that. I like that because it shows the passion you have for the game and your frustration with the game. Like, and on the Shedeur topic, it's about him getting reps and the experience in the NFL. And so far, if I'm looking at it from a Cleveland Browns standpoint, you see what Dylan, Da- uh, Dylan Gabriel has been doing for the Browns, and it really hasn't been much. You look at that first game that Shedeur actually had, and you saw a lot more of Cleveland pushing down the field, getting chances, and he just needs more reps at quarterback for Cleveland, and he needs that practice time with the team. And yeah, okay, we've seen a lot of cocky guys like Johnny Manziel, Baker
Hey,
Mayfield
I
coming
was
into
not a
this
fan of
league,
Johnny Manziel. Not a fan of
and
him.
I don't understand this whole thing. Oh, okay, why? Because one issue in the league, you see one thing with him and you're automatically judging him like, oh, he shouldn't be playing and not like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said about the dad, his dad can be a Deion Sanders. It's Shedeur Sanders trying to make a name for himself. He don't. Yeah, he's looking at his dad like, oh, that's my dad, Deion Sanders. But at the end of the day, you don't think Shedeur wants to make a name for himself and be up there with his along with the greats as his dad is?
Yeah. I think he does. And I think personally for me right now, if I'm the Browns, like if I'm looking at them with Shedeur Sanders season, right now, I think no matter which one you want to go with, I think he is better than Dylan Gabriel. I don't think that's even if it is up for debate, I think you're delusional. But for me, I like Shedeur Sanders over Dylan Gabriel watching this game personally. But again, it is just the Raiders, but it doesn't matter. It's not about the team. It's not about the win. I don't even care that he got the win here. It's just looking at how he plays the game. I'd rather a cocky quarterback that has confidence in himself so that he can go ahead and go, all right, you know what? I'm gonna fix this shit next time, and we're gonna come back even stronger next week. I threw an interception. I'm not gonna do that
I
next
mean,
week.
yeah, he made one mistake, and that was I don't know if it was the read or the wide receiver or he underthrew the ball, but he threw it into a I think it was double coverage wide receiver, and he underthrew the ball.
Yeah,
Okay, that's one mistake. But otherwise,
mistakes are gonna
he
happen.
threw he threw those two. He threw that short pass to the running back, like I said, Samson. That looked great. And then he had the bomb to Judy. Judy made the mistake and fumbled the ball. I don't know what Judy was doing there.
I
And then
don't
you
I want to, oh my lord, I know we had this discussion before about Judy being like a 1 or a 2, and again, this once again for me just solidifies the Browns. You need to go get a wide receiver in this upcoming draft, a
yeah,
1000%, because I'm sorry, Judy is not your number one. He is not a number one, period. To me, you got to get someone else. He's just not. Like, this guy reminds me so much of the Giants version of like Darius Slayton, to where to me like he's a glorified number 3 playing at the number 1 because there is no number 1 on that team.
yeah.
Sorry, hate
And
me if you want.
And then he had the other deep ball that got them down to the 2 yard line. So Shador's looking good and making the right reads on this team right now.
Yeah,
He just needs more reps with the offense to learn how they play. He was rolling out and looking good. He was using his feet to get away from the pressure. Shador's looked good, and I don't understand. Another thing I see is that people were pissed that the Browns head coach didn't give him enough credit after game. I would be pissed too if I was Shador because we got the win, and yeah, okay, Miles Garrett had a game, 4 sacks, and the defense kept them in the game most parts. But the offense did not look bad.
They didn't, and I could, like that. The only reason why I am for this particular reason, the only reason why I am going to agree with everyone saying that they're pissed about it, is because I just feel like the coach just doesn't like Shedeur Sanders. I
Yeah,
just truly feel that
agreed.
way. So I feel like that's personally, it's not just this one isolated incident. It's just the whole season as a whole. I think he was very pissed that he had to get Shedeur Sanders. I think there was a call, like I said, somewhere made. I'm not a conspiracy theorist typically, but I feel like something was done to get Shedeur on this team. Whether it had been his dad, whether it had been the commissioner, whether it had been the GM overseeing what the coach was doing and telling him this is the guy,
You're going into
whatever it is.
real conspiracy series here.
Dude, whatever it is, I don't know. I don't care what it is, dude. Whatever these things are, I truthfully do believe in it because there is just no reason why you're giving this guy the cold shoulder when you got him on your team. You're not just going, man, welcome to the Browns. I'm going to kill you. You're so happy. I'm so glad to have you on the team. You're not getting a single fucking rep. Man, it's great. You're great. I love having you here. I couldn't be the most angriest having you on my squad right now. Dylan Gabriel is going to eat your
I
soul.
love how
It,
you're having the devil's and the
the,
devil on your
it,
shoulder
it's
and the God on your shoulder
this
conversation
is
right
this
now.
is just the coach talking to Shedeur. This is what I'm told me. This is
Yeah,
what
I
happened when he got
know.
drafted. He's like, "Oh man, bring it in. Let me get a hug. You're lucky I don't have a knife in my hand right now." Like this is just how I feel the coach at this point was talking to him
Yeah,
prior
no.
to drafting because this is what it feels like. It just does feel that way. Like I don't know, he
Agreed.
got drafted in the fifth round. I go, oh, no one gives draft reps to the fifth round. That argument got invalidated when
With Tom
they
Brady.
trade. No, that argument got invalidated when they traded Joe Flacco and they were already giving first team reps to the second quarterback and then didn't give first team reps to the second quarterback when the second quarterback got moved up to the first. It makes no sense how Shedeur
Yeah.
still got isolated even after being the number 2 at that point. None of it makes sense. You can't use that argument with me when they clearly already gave that treatment to Dylan and they didn't give the same thing to Shedeur. There was clearly unfair treatment to me. I was not a fan of that. So I think
I 100% agree.
personally, fire the coach after the season. Fire him. I don't care if he leaves him for the rest of the team. Fire him. There's resentment there. Or the coach has to at least buy this kid dinner or something like that after winning the game and getting proved wrong. It's like, listen, I'm sorry that I sent you all those like really violent phone calls saying that you'll never get drafted on draft day. And yes, I'm going to admit that it was me, the head coach, right now, even though I don't want to admit it to anyone else. Um, but I just want you to know that I'm thankful that you won that game, you know. Because I don't know, man. Like this kid does not deserve the trade. I don't care if you think he's cocky or he's riding his dad's coattails. Like hop off, dude. Honestly, it just makes no sense to hate this kid. There's no reason to hate this kid unless he's done something bad. Someone like Deshaun Watson, hate him. Go ahead, hate him. That's fine. Hate him. This kid,
Yeah.
no. Just there's no reason to hate this kid.
He's
Oh,
taking up your
ooh,
payroll.
he's
Deshaun
cocky.
Watson. Deshaun
Deshaun,
Watson
yeah.
is taking up your payroll and not
He
making
hasn't
you be
he
able to
hasn't
make any
made a
moves.
single trip all season. Suddenly they're going to Vegas. Yeah, I feel like hopping on the plane. Let me get on there with you. There's just
I mean,
no,
and
just
this win, when you look at it, the Raiders, Cleveland won 24-10, and the win over the Dolphins, I believe Gabriel got the start, right? It was 31-6,
yeah.
and that was mainly a defense game win by the Dolphins. The offense really didn't do much that game with Gabriel, and the offense did more with Shedeur and won the game.
So here's the thing, right?
Play
The
with,
offense
go with Shedeur.
the offense to me, like it's not about the rest of the offense. Like I said, the win and loss to me doesn't matter here. I'm not looking at the 31-6 win. I'm not looking at the 3 losses that occurred afterwards. I'm looking at this game and going, because they shouldn't have lost against the Jets. The Jets winning that game was just an anomaly. I don't know how they pulled that one off. That was just dumb. In every scenario, the Browns should have won that game. There should be
Oh,
no reason.
100%.
But what's it called? But But yeah, no, you're not. I'm not looking at the wins and the losses with this team, and I have been following the Browns because of the controversy going on with this season. Because I have wanted to look at them. Defense looks great, honestly. Their defense does not look bad. They just get put on the field so often that they have no time to rest. The fact that Myles
Yeah.
Garrett had 13 sacks in 4 games is insane, and Myles Garrett does absolutely deserve the credit for what he did against the
Oh
Raiders.
yeah,
That
I'm
was
not.
killer. Like 4 games, that's amazing. He just became the sack leader for the first time in 3 games. He just went boom, 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 13 sacks. Okay, where were you all season? You had 1 sack until by like week 9, and you came out with 13 sacks. Do you hate the Giants? Just tell me you hate it. I wanted Brian Burns to win the goddamn defensive player of the year,
Defensive player of the
but
year.
it is what it is. That's fine. You overtook your spot. What am I supposed to do now about that? I can't be happy about that. Now the Giants don't get nominated for anything other than the first team to be
Worst team in
eliminated
the NFL.
from the NFL. Like, come on. That's not something I wanted to be
I'm
nominated for.
I'm surprised the Titans or the Browns did not get the first team. We got the first team. Oh yay!
It's a disaster. But anyway, I think the Browns need to go ahead and they gotta get a wide receiver in the offseason. I think that's truthfully what they gotta go get. Because if you give this offense, they already have Judkins. I like Judkins as a running back, by the
Oh,
way.
he's looking great.
He's so cool. I love him. My favorite 3 running backs, right? Well, that's kind of hard to say because I haven't really had much time to gel with Hampton. Though I did like Hampton coming out. I really think he's a beast. I think he is going to be a beast coming out next season. I'm hoping.
Yep.
But I like just so far excluding him. I will exclude Hampton from this just because again I don't feel like he didn't get the fair shake. He obviously got the injury, went down. Very unfortunate for the Chargers. I think that kid was going to come out and be a stud. But Judkins, Stevenson from the Patriots, and Cam Scatterbo are like my 3 favorite running backs right now in the league that I think out of the rookies have been really showing out. Yes, I am including all those 3 over Genty because for me, Genty's looked very basic right now.
That have been looking good. This that I like coming out of the rookies. Chase Brown, Omarion Hampton, Stevenson, Judkins, and Scatterbo. They're all looking great. And I even agree that Genty hasn't been looking to college Genty, but at the same time, that Raiders O-line is horrific.
Yeah,
it
is
very bad.
It is, but when I look at teams like I'm going after I can't compare everyone to someone like Barkley, right? Not everyone's going to be that elite level talent, but first round draft pick, I'm expecting even if we have a horrible line, you're going to just do good. The Giants had a terrible O-line with Barkley, and he still came out and was a force. It's just like I look at some
but he
teams.
played for Penn State. He's playing for Boise State that had really no competition to get into the playoffs, and he just
You're still a first round pick. You're still a first round pick. I'm expecting more out of that. Whew. All right. Well, speaking of, to the what's called actually no, it's not even going to that. It's Thanksgiving week. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Because we're shooting this on a Tuesday, so happy Thanksgiving, everyone, for who's watching this on Saturday. I hope you guys all had a great turkey. I won't know if I've had. For the American fan base. Yeah, you guys already had yours.
Different Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you guys already had yours in October, and I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving too. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all who are celebrating, and for those who don't, I respect you absolutely the most, 100%. What's called because the holiday is obviously a very, very controversial holiday, but we have football today, or not today. We have football on Thursday. So we're again, this is shot on Tuesday, so don't kill us if our predictions are wrong going into this. Because it was being released today, which for you guys is Saturday, if you're watching this. We have a really awesome lineup this Thursday for some football. This is a great week, and these games actually mean a lot. We have 3 Thursday game footballs as usual.
This is looking like one of the better Thanksgiving Day games than any other ones in the past.
And I wouldn't have agreed with you if Joe Burrow was not returning for this Thursday night game, because then it would have been.
Absolutely.
But the fact that he's returning to versus Baltimore for the primetime game, and then you have Green Bay and Detroit battling it out for playoff spots right now,
And the
and
Cowboys
Kansas City
just came,
versus the Cowboys,
who just upset the Eagles by being
Home.
up 21-0 from the first quarter, and they didn't do anything after that.
in Philly.
Oh
In Philly.
my God.
The fact that they came back and won that game 24-21 was incredible to me. And I hate the Cowboys. Giants fan, respectively. I think, and as well as a football fan, I think most people hate Cowboys.
I turned the game off when it was 21-0, thinking like, oh, the Eagles have this in the bag.
It's done. It's
and
over.
I was like, they came back?
I was pissed because I'm looking at fantasy stuff, right? I'm like, all right, CeeDee Lamb's not doing crap. No, none of my guys are doing crap. Whatever. And I look, it's like, CeeDee Lamb is in the red zone. It's like, that's great. CeeDee Lamb is in the red zone. Are you just telling me the same thing? CeeDee Lamb is in the red zone. Like, let me go look at this real quick. Now I gotta look, and I'm like, they came back? Are you kidding me? I'm like, what are we doing? I'm like, holy crap! I'm like, gee, like they just kept. I was like, all right, dude, what are you guys doing?
God.
What's happening here? Like, thank you so much. Even though, George Pickens really looking like the number one out there. Shout out to Calvo.
He's gunning for that number one spot ahead of CD because CD he's been Butterfingers over there.
Yeah.
CD.
Yeah, which thankfully I have both him and Justin Jefferson on my fantasy team, so I'm guaranteed to lose every game this because, Vikings don't seem to have an offense looking at you, McCarthy. And then, CeeDee Lamb can't catch a ball. Looking at you, CeeDee Lamb.
I haven't even paid attention to fantasy because my team is just, it's in the gutter.
Well, it's a good thing. That'll be a free $20 from you. And then, when I upset everyone in the playoffs, I'll go ahead and be sure to collect. It's oh my Lord, dude, it's terrible. But yeah, no, but we have a crazy lineup this week. I want to just start off with just do a quick prediction for each one of them here. We have Green Bay versus Detroit at 1:00 p.m., which for me this should be a primetime game in Detroit. So who do we got here, Dan? What is your this game?
No,
what do you have going
at
on?
1:00. I thought 11:00 earlier. I was like,
oh, it's 1:00.
Yeah, I was watching. No, I was watching F1 the other day, and they mentioned 11:00. I didn't know it was on Pacific Standard Time. Yeah. I was like, okay, here.
Yeah, no, we got one.
This game is very hard to decide because the Packers have been looking good, but Detroit has also been looking good, and I'm gonna ride with Detroit here. Because Detroit just on paper has the better offense to me. Jordan Love hasn't been looking really good for the Packers over there in Green Bay. And it's Green Bay's defense that's keeping them in these games, giving their offense a chance. And when you look at Detroit, they just have that offense is just clicking. And yeah, okay, Jared Goff hasn't been looking like Jared Goff the last few games. He's been struggling, but still, a 23-5 interception ratio is not bad. Jared Goff has been still doing his thing over there. And that duo of Gibbs and
Montgomery
has been looking good all year. And St. Brown, it's just, you have all these threats. It's very hard to just say, oh, the Packers are going to try to find a way to win. I mean, they can if they come out looking like they did in week 1 against the Lions, but like we talked about the Ravens, how they look different after their bye week. After that first 3 weeks, the Lions have been looking completely different and are looking like the team that could win this division.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the Lions are right now. They're 4-1 at home at the moment. I think
4-1 at home. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they're 4-1 at home, and then I think for me again the offense as well. I think the reason why Jordan Love is not doing as great is just because for me personally, I think that they just don't have the offense as a whole. Like your top guy being Romeo Dobbs, like it's not going to be. It's just not a recipe for. It's the Jerry Jeudy situation all over again. you're just not, for me, you're not destined to win when Romeo Dobbs is your number one guy. He's a good receiver, don't get me wrong, but he's a solid like 3, maybe a 2 on your team, but just not putting him number one. He can't be your best receiver. Christian Watson, same thing. He's just not your number one. At least not yet. He's still young, but he's just not there at the moment to be your number one receiver. And then just Josh Jacobs not having the craziest season right now. Rushing, like he's got,
He's having
you know,
a decent season, but not the greatest.
decent, but I mean, like, I think when I looked at it, Gibbs had like 400 yards over him or something like that, or close to at least. I think Gibbs is near like 1,000, and then I think he's not even at 700 yet, if I'm not mistaken. Like I think he's closer to the 648. So, like for me, it's just you got a whole lot of difference between their wide receivers, which you have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameis Williams over there as a solid number 1 and 2. And then you have the 1 and 2 as the running backs. Just for me, this team should be the best team in the league. On paper, for me, best team in the league, but they're just not, and I'm surprised. But I have Detroit winning this game too. I have it being a close game though, because it wouldn't be Thanksgiving without some nice, good, close calling games. So my prediction for all these games are going to be close, and I'm hoping it comes true because I want to see some good football this week. So I'm hoping coming out into it that it's I'm hoping that this game is like a 31-28 kind of score, or even like a 21-24 situation, like with the Eagles and the Cowboys. That's what I'm kind of hoping we get here. Not in the same blowout fashion to begin with, but I'm hoping we get something close like that. I want to see a close game. I just want to see a nice, good shootout between the two. Good defense on either side. I want to see Micah Parsons go off. I want to see Hutchinson go off. I want to see the offense run. I want to see the defense, and I just want to see everything click for both teams. I want this game to be really good. I don't have a dog in the fight. My team's already eliminated from the playoffs. Thank you very much, Giants. So for me, I just want to see good football. That's all I really care about.
Yeah,
Um,
no, my
yeah,
prediction is gonna be 33-30 in favor of the Lions.
would love that. Whatever it is, I'm all happy for it. I just want to see both teams. I want to see like a minimum of 6 sacks this game, like combined. I want to see a minimum of 6 sacks this game. I want to see an interception. I want to see a fumble. I want to see everything because this game has the making to be a really good game. This is a very close division rivalry game right
Yeah,
now at 7-3-1 and 7-4. Both of them, which are still behind, by the way, the Chicago Bears, who are now 8-3. No one had that on their bingo card on week 13. Just letting you
well,
know that right now. I did say they were gonna have a good season though, so you're welcome, Chicago. I appreciate it. Shout out to my friends that live over there. What's it called? My good friends. But yeah, no, and then we have next game up, we have Kansas City versus America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, at
yeah.
the 425 spot.
Them and the Lions always have these Thanksgiving Day games.
Rightfully so. I don't mind it personally. It's a tradition at this point. I don't care if the Cowboys they should be playing Thanksgiving games. I feel like that is one of the traditional teams to have. Like I'm used to it being like Giants versus them or something like that. But whatever, Kansas City, throw them in there. Let's have a Kansas City
Yeah,
versus
no, I'm excited to see the switch up in teams
yeah.
playing these teams.
This would have been a good week though because we already have 2 games this week, and this is where I think they messed up. This game should have been the Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys because for me this was a division rivalry Thanksgiving. We have all of them, and then you're supposed to like get together. You know how they get to have like the
Yeah, but it
Thanksgiving dinner
wouldn't
in
be
the
the
middle of the
same. It
field.
wouldn't be the same though. We wouldn't have never seen that 21-point comeback, or who knows.
You
But
don't know. I'm saying if you would have
the
put that
Cowboys
though. It wouldn't have mattered. Regardless, I just want to see that game. I would have liked it to be all division rivals. We had Green Bay and the Lions. We have Cincinnati and Baltimore with Joe Burrow back in action.
yeah, they
That,
definitely messed up with scheduling here.
but I think Kansas City, whatever, Kansas City is the hot ticket team of the century at this point, or the
They still
decade
make the
really.
playoffs.
They're 6-5. They grabbed a big win last week. That was a huge win for them. So the fact they're 6-5 now is big for them. They needed that badly. The fact that they hardly
And they
got that
need
win over the
this one
Colts.
badly too.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And Dallas also needs it because Dallas is still clawing. Dallas could still claw into the playoffs. And that's like, they could still make it here. So that's another big game. If I'm running this game right now,
Yeah, but Dallas has a lot of work to do more than the Cowboys.
Dallas has
Or
more work to do than the Cowboys. I agree.
more than the Chiefs, in my opinion.
Playoff
The
work,
Chiefs at
yeah.
6-5. When you're looking at the NFC, you're looking at
The NFC is a lot harder.
what?
A lot
It's the
harder.
first 8 teams.
Yeah, it's the first 18, so it's a lot harder on both.
Yeah,
It's
they're
first team
looking.
from each division, and then 4 wild cards.
And who would think this, that the Carolina Panthers are outside looking in to be a playoff team?
Just crazy to me. But they could still come back though. Like they're 5-1. They are only 2 games out of a playoff spot right now. The number what is it? No, it's actually not even 7. Is it? It's the first bye. 3. Yeah, no, it's
Well,
only 7
the
teams. It's the first 7 teams. First 7
the
teams, and
wild
it's
card right now, you're looking at Detroit, San Fran, Green Bay, Seattle.
well, they're all technically wild card. Technically, everyone's not a wild card, but everyone's a wild card besides the number 1 team technically. So like
Yeah.
on the NFC, it's the Los Angeles Rams as the first round bye at the moment. Then it would be the Eagles versus San Fran, the Bears versus Green Bay, crazy matchup, and there would be the Bucks versus the Seahawks, another crazy matchup to me. I like the playoffs as it is right now. It's good. So it's the first 7 teams, not 8. My bad. So
And that's
there's still
crazy
2
too,
games out, huh?
because you look at that NFC West. That NFC West is up for grabs on who's going to be that
Nuts.
number 1 spot.
No, I think. Who do you think is the edge of that one out? Who do you got there? Who thinks edging that one out to be the division leader?
Rams are looking like the
Oh,
team
my bad. Yeah, I
in the
think they're gonna
NFC.
win that. I think. Oh, well, they're only 1 game ahead actually. Yeah. So who do you think's gonna win it? You got the Rams. Sorry, my bad. I cut you off.
They're looking like the team. And I know we're getting off topic because we went from Thanksgiving and only talked about 2 games. I don't want to
We'll go
jump
back
into
into it.
that conversation yet.
Yeah, yeah. We'll
But
go into it here.
Matt Stafford is looking like the front runner for MVP on that team.
Yeah, I do think he's gonna be MVP. I
I
think he's
mean,
got a clear cut shot.
the first few weeks he was just trying to force the ball to Devontae Adams, and you've seen it. But now that Nakua has given some of the stress off of Adams, that
All the
team is
stress. He
clicking
is the
and
number 1
looking
guy.
scary.
He's the number 1 guy. Devontae Adams, all his touchdowns are within like 4. He's like the goal line king. He's got like, all his receiving yards
That
within the
offense is
last 5
looking
yards.
scary when these two are
Yeah, on
playing at.
fire.
Those
Yeah.
2 wide receivers are on fire and looking like their prime selves.
Yeah.
Because whether you like to say it or not, Devontae Adams, yeah, he's old, or yeah, he's a vet in the league. But at the same time,
He's not a vet.
Devontae
He's
Adams
old. He's punk.
still knows how to grab that ball and make it difficult for those cornerbackers.
Oh, of course, yeah. He's still in that position.
The Rams are looking scary, man.
Yeah, but jumping back onto it though, what's called Dallas Cowboys versus Kansas City. Who do you got winning this game? Like personally, who do you got winning this one?
This kills me, but Cowboys are riding that momentum. The Chiefs have the momentum to try to make the playoffs. I'm going Chiefs here. I'm sorry, Cowboys fans. This is no hate against you guys, and I know you're the division rival. Maybe there's a little hate towards you guys, but I'm giving this to the Chiefs in a very close game. I'm gonna give this like 28-24. I think it's gonna be really close. The Cowboys are gonna fight because if they fought against the Eagles, why not fight against a Super Bowl caliber team in the Chiefs? It's gonna be a meaningful game for both teams.
I disagree. I'm gonna put this game a close game. I will agree with that because again, I'm putting all matchups here as close games. I just am. We're gonna leave it at that because I'm hoping it's a good one. I think Dallas pulls this off. They're playing at home. Dallas, I think, has a good record on Thanksgiving as well, if I'm not mistaken. Someone can look it if you want to look it up or something. But I think they have a good record on Thanksgiving. At least recently, they do since whatever. But I think that I like Dallas right now. I don't like them as I like them. I hate Dallas. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Giants fan, but I can't even say the division rivals because again we're knocked out from the playoffs. So yeah, just lucky us. So there is no rivalry right now. Right now it's just team versus team for me. It's just like who's to make Super Bowl. That's all I care about right now. Is looking into the next season and just I still watch the Giants football. Don't get me wrong. I watch my team whether they win or lose, whatever. I'm just a very passionate fan. But yeah, no, I think that Dallas ends up taking this game. I think that I think CeeDee Lamb needs a bounce back game, and I think that George Pickens is right now the number 2 receiver in the league as far as yards go, right behind JSN, and I don't see them slowing down. I think the Cowboys are going to take this one. I think they'll advance to 6-5-1, and I think
There's
they will.
33 and 22 all time on
That's a
Thanksgiving.
damn good record, I think. And then on top of that, it's like I think it's a pretty damn good record for a team that does it every year. So I think that Dallas for me, I'm putting this game, and I think I'll take this one. I think I'll flip the score for you. I think I'm gonna take it 28-24, but in favor of Dallas is what I like to see right now. Not like to see again. I hate Dallas, but I think they're gonna win this game 28-24. That's where I got. I think the defense has been clicking a little bit better, and I think the offense has just been clicking in general. So I think they're gonna win.
I
But I
mean,
hate them.
I mentioned a streamer before. I mentioned a streamer before in Jinxie in this podcast. I was on social media on the game was Sunday, right? Sunday night. And I saw Tim the Tatman being like, "Oh yeah, we're down 21-0, but it's halftime. There's still hope." These Cowboys fans are delusional, but
They make it fun.
they do make it fun.
They make it damn fun. They make it damn fun. And then last but not least, we have Cincinnati versus Baltimore. We're in
Man,
Baltimore for this game at 8:20 p.m.
if Joe Burrows is starting and is healthy enough to start, you start him. I don't care that Flacco is the
I think
quarterback
he's
for the
expected to start. I
Bengals.
think it's just an injury thing, but I think he's expected to start. He is going to play. I
If
think.
he's good to go, you play him in this game. This is a very meaningful game for you guys because you guys still have a shot to make a playoffs in this division. You play him and you see what you guys can do. You see how that offensive line can protect for him because I know it struggled earlier on in the season. But Chase Brown, Chase Brown, right? No, Jamar Chase. Wow,
I confuse
Chase
the two
Brown is the running
sometimes.
back.
It's so weird to me. I think it's because of the
Jamar
Chase, like
Chase
Jamar Chase and then Chase Brown is like it screws me up.
Jamar Chase gets his guy back and see what magic you guys can do with these two players. And now your running game is looking a whole lot better than it has all year.
Yeah.
You guys do have a chance to beat the Ravens here. And I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one. They're going to pull it out. Wow. It's going to be an overtime game. I think it's going to be 31-33.
Bro, all right, here, listen.
Bengals favors.
All right, cool. Listen, I would love to see that happen. Not on Thanksgiving, bro. I got too much food in me at 8:20 p.m. I don't even want to stay up till 11:30 watching this game. I ain't staying up till midnight watching these two teams duke it out. I am going to stay up and watch them do it, but I really don't want to see them go to OT. That would kill me. Have any of the other ones morning time when I'm still making the turkey?
No.
Cool. You know, let's do it.
This game.
Dallas, when after I just freshly eaten the turkey, whatever the case is, nice, it's perfectly fine by me. 11:30 at night when the game is like supposed to be over, I don't want to be sitting here nodding off, watching these two teams go back for the 92nd point apiece, and going, man. How many times can I watch them go down the field? I feel like one of those cats that watch the tennis balls go back and forth between the courts. I don't want to watch that. Not at 11:30 at night when I have the itis already. I'm good. I am set and I am good. But yeah, I think wow, I think we're gonna disagree again because as much as I think that Joe Burrow can come out and show out, and I do think he needs to start as well, I am gonna take Baltimore in this one. One, because I've always liked Baltimore. Baltimore's been like my second favorite team in the league since I was a kid. I loved watching the defense of Ray Lewis. So for me, I always cheered for them to win, even though I hated when they beat the Giants in the Super Bowl. That was really sad, but it's okay though. I forgave them because They've given me a lot of memories in my life.
And another Super Bowl you're not forgetting with them is the blackout Super Bowl that happened against the
Oh, I'm not forgetting
49ers.
that either. Yeah, but I mean, like that's definitely not sad to me. That was great because Ray Lewis went out on top. They just did their thing and they got their wins. Um, yeah, no, because what's it called? Oh, yeah, no, I think personally, I'm looking at this whole thing and I'm going, you know what? I got Baltimore winning this game. I think that Lamar Jackson is just going to come out and do his thing as typical. And I just think that Cincinnati's defense is just not there to compete with them. I just think that there's going to be a little bit too much for them to handle. It could definitely go in Cincinnati's favor. Maybe the momentum carries them with Joe Burrow being there. They might be hyped up. Maybe they're excited and whatnot. But I think because they're away, it's going to show. I think if they were home, we'd be talking a different story right now going into his first game. But I think him starting his first two games away, I don't know if I like his chance, even though we spoke about it earlier. I don't know if I like his chance going in Thanksgiving night versus Baltimore in Baltimore against Lamar Jackson. I got that Jamar Chase on my freaking mind. Against Lamar Jackson. So I got personally, I have Baltimore winning this game, and I would put this one. I want to say a blowout, but I'm gonna put close game because I'm gonna respect the fact that it's a holiday and maybe we'll get three good games out of this. So I want to say this game is going to be surprisingly, even though I like I said, I think it could be a shootout between the two. I'll put this one at pretty much the same score as I have Green Bay and Detroit. I'll put this one here at like a 24-21, same kind of score as I had the other one. We'll go 27-24. Screw it. There's a little bit extra point. We'll go 27-24 in favor of Baltimore is where I just have this game being. But yeah, very very exciting game, dude. I'm so hyped about these games. It makes the day so much more worth it to me than not. Like I'm ready to just watch all these games. And if everyone just didn't have plans or whatnot, and I was able to, I would have tried to live stream this, but there's just no way. There's just no way. So I'm
Yeah,
not doing
Thanksgiving
that.
is rough.
Yeah, it's a rough day to try to stream on. I'm not doing that. But yeah, no, I think it's cool. So I'm happy for it. So it's a really good holiday here, for football and whatnot. I'm liking it. So hopefully we see more of it and we get some good games going on here for it. Uh,
Yeah, so Pat,
yeah,
I
what's
I
up?
know you're the NHL guy here.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have a question for you over here
Yeah, what's up?
because I know the Rangers have been struggling all year, right? And it's kind of hard to see like they right now they don't have a direction. And I want to see because of how much they've been struggling, wh- where's the direction do you think that they're going to turn because of all the struggles? Where do you think they're going to turn the ship? Or what do you think they have to do to turn around the season from being what it is right now?
All right, that's a good question. I think right now, just like when you say turn the ship, I think that's the proper way to kind of question this right now. Is this team seems to be the kind of lost at sea. I put them stranded right now. It's what do you do? You're 11-11-2 now in your season. I've watched every damn game. What's it called? And for me, I just don't know where I
And
really.
plus, coming off a 4 game losing streak.
Yeah, they did just win tonight though against the Blues, but it is the Blues. But it's a very tough call because for me, I'm looking at this team going, all right, you're eighth in the Metro. You're first off one of the worst teams in the league at the moment, record wise. You're one of the worst teams in the league right now, just in general for some reason. I don't know why. I do know why, but I'm just like I'm just kind of going over it. But they've played better than what their record looks like in some games, except for recently. The beginning of the season, I thought they played way better than what they looked like. I think they played really good the first 10 games, and then they just kind of like I don't know. After their 3 game win streak, it was just kind of like, all right, we're gonna kind of simmer down a little bit. They looked like one of the hottest teams, and they went to one of the worst teams.
Yeah,
Um,
and really
I
struggling on offense too at the time, not finding the back of the net that much.
Yeah, it's a lot going on here with it. So for me, when I'm looking at this team, I'm looking at the roster. First off, I'm looking at the roster. I'm looking at the top six. I'm looking at the bottom six, and I'm trying to evaluate because everyone knows in hockey, those are basically two separate teams on your team. You're playing with two separate teams in one team. They're all one unit, but they're all four separate units at the same time. So you're not looking at this team like you would with football. You're looking at them like based off of top and bottom. It's just like watching offense and defense in a sense, even though they already have an offense and defense. So when I'm looking at this team, I'm looking at the top six. So let's start off with their line one. Their line one right now being consisted of Cooley, what's it called? It was supposed to be Miller, and then as well as Lafreniere. Then the second line currently would have been Trocheck, Zibanejad, and Panarin. Right, that would have been where we're at the moment, or Zibanejad would have been where Miller is, and then Miller would have been on the second line with the other two. But either way, though, we're looking at those kind of situations. Now we're looking at the top six right now. Lafreniere, the number one overall pick of 2020, has not been playing his greatest game. He did have a 10-game stretch in which he was doing good with points, right? And that was good. He has currently 13 points in the season, 5 goals, 8 assists. Really not crazy. He could have had a lot more. He's at, the discussion was going to be what's going to get him going. He needed top line minutes. He needed power play 1 minutes, and when he got power play 1 minutes, he didn't really do much with it. He's on the top two lines, and he's still got 13 points right now into a quarter of the season. Times that by 4, and basically that's where you have his points being at right now. So he's on pace to get what, 52 points right now for top 6 minutes. You're not looking at that. You don't want 52 points out of him right now. You want him closer to 60, 70 points would be ideal if you're looking for this team to really do good. And if he's on the top line, you want him doing even more. But none of these guys right now in the top 6 are looking to get over 80 points, just judging off the first 4 games. Your top guy right now, which he's been playing piss poor, ask any Ranger fan, even though he's had his games, is Artemi Panarin. Breadman. He's got 20 points right now in the season. He's looking at to close off maybe around the 80-point mark, and that's if he keeps on pace with no slump and whatnot, and assuming he doesn't go off and get a little more. Zibanejad, he's only got 15 points for me, but he's honestly been my favorite offensive man this year so far. He's been playing great in my eyes. I think I still think he needs to be playing on like the second to third line maybe, and on the wing mostly, not at center. But I do like the way he's playing. He's shooting a lot more, and I'm happy for him. Very, very happy for him. I want to see that out of him because I feel like in seasons past, he just hasn't been doing good. Um, and then you have someone like JT Miller, who has been coming out of his concurrent years, going from Canucks 70, 80, 90, 100, 90 again, points per season. And now he's on pace to get 48 points at the moment through the rest of his season. And he's injured as well. So that's not what you're looking for out of your captain. That's not what you're looking for out of this guy that you were expecting to give you the point average that he was getting for the Canucks. But this is, if you knew JT Miller before he left the Rangers, this is what he did on the New York Rangers. He was getting 40 points a season on the Rangers. So he left the system, did really good, came back to the system, hasn't found his rhythm. Just hasn't. Can he turn it around? Absolutely. Can this ship turn around? Can this team be a playoff team? Up for the bait. I think right now this team has too much AHL influence on their team. You got guys like Johnny Brodzinski, Taylor Radish, Connor Sheary, first off and foremost. You have guys like this that are all on this team, and Connor Shearer, for me, should not be on this team. He also shouldn't be on the NHL. If he should be an AHLer. I don't know why. I do know why. But he should not be a part of this third, second, first line. I never want to see him on the top 6. Again, it makes no sense to me as to why he would be there. Brodzinski, cool guy. You love him as a Ranger fan. He's got that that good feel-good story. He's an AHLer. He's 30 years old. It's time to cut the cord. We have other prospects we need to start developing that should be in this top 6 right now, and they're just not here. Gabe Perreault should be one of them. He should be playing top 6 minutes every day. But he's not. He's in the AHL. Brett Berard played on the third line yesterday. Looked pretty all right. He looked good. I don't think he's going to be like crazy good in the league, but I think he's going to do all right. I think he's like a mid-6 winger to me. That's where I have him at least personally, after looking at him on the AHL, because I follow the AHL as well. but he's a guy that deserves the time too. Right now, if I'm looking at this team and asking where they steer the ship, I said at the beginning of the season, I had no expectations for this team to make playoffs. And right now, as it stands, I still don't. I would love to see if they do, but if they're not within the next 10 games in a spot to where they can make the playoffs or feel like they have a good shot at playoffs, cut the cord. Just go ahead and full on just embrace the fact that you're going to be bad and try to get Gavin McKenna or try to get any of the draft picks. The first 4 draft picks in the league that coming out of this draft look amazing. They have 2 first-round draft picks. Right now, one of them is eligible for lottery. Take the fact that you have 2 first-round draft picks and a pretty decent-sized pool and try shooting for one of those picks. This team right now is just in a lost direction. Like I said, we don't know which way they'll go for in the standings. Like right now, they're 8th. I think if you ask most Ranger fans, they're not making the playoffs. I think if you ask anyone who's a realist, they're probably not making the playoffs, but at the same time, they're 8th in the division, and they're somehow still only 6 points out of first place. Do with that as you will. They are 3 games out of first place, being last in the division. The division is absolutely a dumpster fire. They could still make playoffs. Absolutely. Not in a doubt. They could have a good 10 games right now coming up. They're 24 games in. They could have a good 10 games right now and be first in the division within 3, and I'm assuming everyone else loses. The Devils are injury-ridden, so right now they're kind of shaky. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10. The Islanders right now are looking amazing. That's unfortunate for Rangers fans, but they are now in a playoff spot. The Capitals are kind of iffy as well. Pittsburgh kind of been slumping in their last 10. A lot of these teams are trending downward. So the Rangers could absolutely come out and be in a playoff spot. It's a matter if they want to. It's a matter if they're going to, how they are looking, because the Rangers are also injury-ridden, and they also can't seem to have a good top 6 without AHLers in it. Johnny Brodzinski should not be in your top 6. Parsonen should not be in your top 6. They need to fix these top 6 players. They need the depth. Noah Laba should be playing there when Trocheck isn't, which we thought that he was because Trocheck was injured, but he did play the game last night. He did, and I think he had a point last night as well. I think he got an assist. But yeah. So there's 6 points out of the playoffs. They could still steer the ship into playoff direction. It's not hard right now. They need to get going though, because the best team in the league and the best team in your division right now is, I know they're not number 1, but it's going to be the New York Islanders. The New York Islanders look dangerous right now, and it's really upsetting because I hate them. But they look like the number 1 team right now, even over Carolina, because Carolina's had their struggles. They're 6-2-2 in their last 10, but they still, to me, look like a struggling team compared to someone like the New York Islanders, who could actually come out and make a run this year. All these teams, though, have looked bad. They've had streaks of good, and they've had streaks of bad. I would like to see them, though. You're going to try to steer it into the direction of playoffs. So now, if you're looking at them as a buyer, if you're a buyer right now,
I was going to lead into a next question where, if the standings are looking this close come deadline, do you think the Rangers should be buyers or sellers at the deadline?
I don't personally. For me, I don't think you should be a buyer. There's really no one out there that you're looking to buy that's going to turn this team into a Stanley Cup team overnight. There's just not. Right now, I think your Stanley Cup winners coming out west. Personally, that's where I have it. Colorado, big favorite. I think they're going to run away with the President's Trophy by far.
Colorado's been looking hot all year, though.
Yeah, I do. That's why I think they're going to win. I think
they played us.
Yeah, of course they do. They always look good. But like I think they're running away with it. Dallas Stars look good too. There's just a lot of teams out there. Even the Anaheim Ducks right now, which I called as my dark horse, right now are in first place in the Pacific. They're in the Pacific right now, and they're first in their league. And then Edmonton is in typical first half of the season shape. And then in the last half, they will be dominant, and they'll finish like second or first in this division, guaranteed. Mark my words. But right now, you have the entire East Coast, the Metro, the Atlantic, both look weak. The Rangers could absolutely make the playoffs, but you have to find a team that's willing to sell their best players. Who else is looking to sell? And you're looking at positions that they need. They need someone like a Jordan Koiru from the St. Louis Blues, a right winger. They need someone out there that could actually do them some good. But what do they have to sell? They don't really have much. Their prospect pool is through the floor at the moment. The only person you have worth a damn in my eyes is Gabe Perreault, and you don't want to get rid of him. You don't. Because I don't
Right.
think right now is a year where you chance it to win the Stanley Cup. I think they could get into the playoffs, but I don't see this team being a Stanley Cup team. They could very well be, though. They could prove me wrong. I don't see that being happening, but I think they could prove me wrong with it. But the Rangers have too many holes to fix. They have bottom six wingers they need to fix. They have injuries going on with their team right now. They have a left defenseman issue right now. They need to get a left defenseman. There's one on the Ducks. And Pavel, I think his name is I forgot his last name, but Pavel, whatever, is 21 years old, left defenseman. They need to go get him. They need to go get someone, a left defenseman on that team that could back up Susie and Gavrikov. They need someone out there that could actually show that they are willing to play, and they need someone who's a two-way defenseman, which he fits the bill. So I would like to see them make a trade if they are for someone like that. Who could they trade like Othman and a second-round draft pick for this kid? Still a young prospect. He just doesn't have the room right now on that team. They're stacked on left defensemen right now, so they don't need him. So it's just unfortunate. So just go get him. Second round pick and Othman. And then, Bettman might have to look into the league to see what the hell they're trading for, because constantly the Ducks and the Rangers are trading always, and it just seems to be like their current partner. But yeah, I think if you're looking to buy in the deadline, you're looking for them to go ahead and get Artemi Panarin signed, right? You're gonna probably end up signing him if they're looking to buy. And then on top of that, you're looking to also get that left defenseman, like I said, to bottom out that or the rest of that left defenseman core. And then you're looking for someone like a Jordan Koiru that could join your team, but you need to give up something, maybe a first round pick plus Othman or something like that, or maybe plus Othman and maybe one other guy for Koiru. But they need top six scoring badly. This top six, they're not going to do anything with 80 points on the board all season. It's just not going to be the case. They need someone up there that can score. Right now, Lafreniere's not looking like the option at right wing. He shouldn't be a right wing anyway. Cooley, not looking like the number one sniper in the league on the left wing. Just not it. It's just not. And then Panarin is an older vet. He's playing all right, but again, he's not scoring 90 goals for you. He's not scoring 60, 40, 30 goals really. I mean, maybe 30, but he's not scoring 40, 50 goals for you really this season, I don't think. I don't have him up there to do it, but no one is right now. No player on their team is scoring 40 goals this season. If you look at it, they all got assists. They're doing great on assists, but no one's scoring 40 goals. It's spread around, but none of them are consistent. So if you are a buyer, you're going to do that. If you're a seller, you're getting rid of Artemi Panarin, trying to get another draft pick, or even just trying to get better prospects for the pool to come up with. You're bringing up Perreault, you're bringing up Othman, you're bringing up Berard, which he's already up here right now, and you're letting them play the rest of the season out. You're letting them go forward. You're going into the offseason, trying to grab Gavin McKenna, maybe trade the team 3 freaking draft picks or whatever to try to get that number one spot, which you most likely won't, because Gavin McKenna is looking like the next coming of Bedard or McDavid. He's looking crazy. So that's a sweepstakes you want to be a part of. And the Rangers really can't afford to lose another first round prospect and have him be bad. So if I'm looking at this team, if you're looking to steer the ship, you could still sail the winds right now into playoff hopes. If you're looking up then objectively, for me right now, a quarter of the season in, I've kind of seen what I want to see, and my confidence is kind of waned on them, and I'm looking to sell. Personally, I think that Panarin needs to be traded. I think that just they need to get the prospects up here. I want to see them perform. Let's see who's good, who's not. Where do we need to focus on with the upcoming rebuild? If there is an upcoming rebuild, if you're selling, you're rebuilding. So what do they need? So send the prospects up here. Let's get some prospects in the top 6 roles. Where do we need to improve on? Let's start getting the chemistry ready for next season. If we're drafting, make sure you have a slot for that guy that you're drafting. Don't retool and then shove him to the bottom 6. Don't retool and send him to the AHL for the next 4 seasons of his life. Go ahead. If you're going to get someone like Gavin McKenna or one of the first 4 draft picks in the league, then you go ahead and you make sure you have room for him. Getting rid of Panarin would be that first step if you're looking to sell. So that's just where I have it. That's my opinion currently. I give you both perspectives as both a buyer and a seller for the Rangers.
Nice. No,
Hope that
I was
answers your
not
question.
expecting that. Yes.
Oh, I could
In
still go
great
on.
detail.
I
No,
could
that's
still
good.
go on. Like I said, I could do a whole podcast on that, and I would not even scratch the surface. We were running. There's so much I still want to say, but I'm just not. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, so that's where I just have it being right now. But yeah, I appreciate the discussion about the Rangers because you know what, I do like talking about the Rangers, so I'm always down to talk some NHL. But we have run our course. I think we have done a great deal at talking during this podcast, and my throat's kind of sore right now because I just did like a 20-minute spiel on the Rangers.
And screamed a little.
Yeah, and screamed a little bit. So you know it is what it is. So yeah, I think episode 9, Thanksgiving Day. I think lightning round question of the day. Dan, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Ham.
Turkey. Both different people. Objectively, he's wrong. Hate me in the comments if you will. I don't
No,
like ham.
ham is more superior than turkey.
Let me tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah, why?
It's my podcast, and I'll kick you if I want to. Simple as that. Boom. I'm blocked. All right. No, but yeah. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Enjoy yourselves, and we'll be back on the following Tuesday. Well, I guess we'll be back next week. For you guys are seeing this Saturday, and I guess we'll talk to you guys.
Saturday.
We'll see you guys next Saturday after that. Enjoy your weekends. Peace. Have a good one.
Happy weekend. Peace.